the recording is up and running. Everything is on point. Okay, so the big thing about the Bucky is we need to look for the pressure around your hook. This is pretty good ability, in my opinion. So we definitely have to take off angles quite a lot if you have the ability present. And just generally speaking, your damage output, the way you provide the damage, a lot of times is going to be around short and mid-range off angles, and sometimes we can definitely stuck on main too, but I do think the big value you can find by taking off angles, this is pretty significant because of the hook. But let's take a look. And yeah, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to unmute. You can message me in the chat, tag me. I will be glad to answer any questions. I will mostly focus on fundamentals. I think because those replay reviews are going to be brief, keep in mind that you can always note what you want me to focus on. There are multiple themes we can be focusing on, because I, generally speaking, like to focus on 1-2 themes. We did talk a lot about the cover usage, we did talk a lot about the tempo, our previous master classes. I remember kill boxes, maybe just how you use angles, how do you time the pressure correctly. So there are a lot of topics. I'm not going to be able to break all of this down by looking at the one replay. So if there's anything you want me to look at more, just ask me, just tell me. That's completely fine. Okay. So this here, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not too experienced with this yet. I didn't review the map itself yet, but from what I see, what it looks like is that when you're fighting for this section here, yeah, this is the objective here, you need to try to set up the angles around the point quite a lot of times, if possible, if your character allowing you to. I think a lot of people underestimate maybe taking this side, probably, or maybe this left side if you're playing more of a short-range character, more flanker character. This can be definitely good. Other than that, let's just see how it plays out. Let's see what are we gonna do in here exactly. Yeah, you're searching for the divers. It's good that you notice that and just push that out potentially. I think this is something we definitely want to be doing as Bucky. You're quite good at just punishing at any of the divers. Okay. Alright, so there's a lot of generally good stuff happening right away, in my opinion. Yeah, you cleared out important angles, so that was not sweating into your team. Found big damage output. This guy was out of position on that Mr. Fantastic, so it's fine. Just looking to setup can be quite important from here, I think. Yeah, exactly. So you just trying to take this power spot, making sure that we able to do the early pressure, and most importantly, you have the uptime with your hook right away. Yeah, because you want to constantly be looking to do something with that ability. So even here, I don't think we have to do something like do shooting. If we think about the tempo, yeah, let's just maybe look through the lens of that. I did talk a lot about that, playing fast and slow, and how you can change your play depending on that. Like right now, the enemy team, they would like to play slow. Why? Because they want to reset, they want to try to just give up the space, and for that reason you expect them to play more defensive. They will try to play behind the cover more. So you want to take advantage of that because they're playing defensive and try to take more space. And that's why typically you don't have to just sit in the same spot where, well, it doesn't matter what space you got. Yeah, you got the point, well, you don't want to sit on the point, or you got certain good corner, you don't want to sit there if you have an advantage. You usually want to take space, push up, and in the way we call it playing fast. Yeah, just make sure you reposition and try to get a good angle to try to get the hook, and maybe try to just go for good damage output as well. Afterwards, get the staggers, basically. But most importantly, you can also get the better position too. Okay? So just right away, we're not doing the damage, but making sure that we moving in first and then doing the damage, and then providing the pressure. Okay? Also, I see your replay, Pu Ledido. I will put in your name after. Okay. Just a little of downtime, it seems. I definitely think just the stuff before, yeah, maybe if you're able to get an early hook, that could be quite good for us. Okay. Sure, well, That's fine. I think in general, if you're able to catch the enemy at this vulnerable times, maybe when they use one of their abilities, or maybe they're more stationary, and you can punish that, I think this is really good. Like doing this, what are we looking for? So we kind of hooking in this guy. I'm not sure if it's the too highest value because they still have the ability up, but right after the ability is ended, I think it's one of the good opportunities for you to always do something. It's kind of, they do their spike of pressure, they do something with their ability. I think you're really good at punishing something what's happening afterwards. Like, for example, if they used any of the, like Spider-Man went in for that, for example, right? If I'm able to punish him right after with my abilities, I think this is perfect. Okay, now you just need to keep taking space because you have an advantage, but we kind of keep sitting here just doing pressure. You see, this is what I mean? You need to have the uptime a little bit more of the uptime, really. I'm okay with how you looked at the angles, how you've been pushing those. Yeah, initially there was pretty good damage output. I think that makes sense. Mechanics not too bad too, right? It's pretty decent, but just the uptime with the positioning. So you utilize the advantage you got on the map. What I suggest is try to look at the kill feed, try to look at just press tab in general to give information on who's dead, who's alive, so you can decide, are you pushing forward or you pulling back, to be honest. And this should be quite easy for you. Yeah, you actually do recognize when you need to give up the space there. I think this makes sense. We're pretty low. We also did lose some of the numbers. You need to get your health back, though. Yeah, I'm trying to get on the Cloak and Dagger ultimate, it seems. I think it's okay if you... I'm not sure this... I don't know this map, I'm gonna be honest with you, like, too much about the HP packs. They're definitely gonna be... It feels like some of the HP packs on the flank routes, maybe somewhere here. Yeah, so I predicted that almost correctly. Somewhere around here. Maybe there's gonna be somewhere probably on this side. Okay, so you go like this here, and probably the right side too. That's where I expect them to be. Is there's one? Probably. There's no HP pack here. Maybe there's gonna be somewhere around this space too. Yeah, okay, so it seems like there's no on the right side. At least I cannot see that for now, but definitely those flank routes, if you want to fall back too, I think it's fine. You can usually take the HP pack there. That's how they, generally speaking, try to position HP packs in those games. Just trying to take advantage of the... Well, just because you're taking off angles, they know that there's a lot of pressure on you and your teammates might not be able to heal you. I think you can always fall back to those. But yeah, it's okay. And just this map is quite new. Yeah, I think it just takes time to know how to play this properly, but it's fine. To be honest, this map is really, if any of you guys are familiar with Overwatch, it's similar to one of the maps from there too, and just how it works. Yeah, this high guns in the middle, usually some of those spaces we want to take advantage of, and like the flanks around it. All right, Squirrel Wiser, do you have any specific questions? I know I kind of mentioned just the basic, was mostly about the tempo. I think that's what stands out for me, just making sure that you push and push a little bit more with the uptime when you have an advantage, to be honest. This is what I think. But yeah, do you have any questions about this?
I kind of struggle knowing when to use my ultimate on Bucky, because I know that it's one of those ultimates that charges fast, and you can kind of just use it for pressure instead of big plays. I didn't really find the best opportunity to use it because our team seemed to not really ever group up after we got picked off here.
Yeah, okay. Well, to be honest, the general advice is obviously there are some targets you want to be going afterwards more. You maybe want to bait out certain abilities. Honestly, I think for now, if you just learning the bucket this time, I just recommend try to make sure you follow fundamentals a little bit more. So whenever you know that your ultimate is allowing you to get even situation on the field, or you get slightly bigger advantage, then you're usually fine. How do you do that? I talked about that in the tempo masterclass. You just look at the score of the fight. You just look at how many numbers you have available. So for example, here I have 5 numbers, or 5 people alive, and they have 6. Okay, and after that, you just look at the ultimate's being used, and this creates the score of the fight in a way. There's kind of active score what's happening. So, for example, now if your Loki is using ultimate, the score of the fight would be something like 6, and it would be 6v6. Why you do that? Because it's much easier, especially if it's more fundamental way of looking at it. Yeah, because every ultimate is different. Yeah, some ultimates are cheaper than the others. Some ultimates are more powerful. That doesn't matter, because overall one ultimate allowing you to force amount of resources which equals 1 kill anyway, usually on average. So it's okay if you look at it this way, as long as the score of the fight is maybe it's even, let's say it's 6v6, it's even, you can consider using an ultimate, or you're down 1 point. Yeah, because if you're down 1 point, let's say my score of the fight is 5, and then I can be using my ultimate, and then I create the score of the fight of 6, generally speaking. That's how I would put it. Honestly, this, as a player, doesn't matter what game I'm playing, especially those hero shooters, usually helping out a lot, to be honest. You just know when to kite and when to not use your ultimate. And it's just kind of general thing. Yeah, for example, here, if you look at it, when could you be doing that? Well, honestly, there's a Loki ultimate in you here, and only 3 people are up now, and the ultimate is being used too. So technically, you have only 4 people, well, 4 score of the fight. Yeah, 3 people participating, 1 ultimate is active, and they have, on the other hand, they have 6 from what I see, right? So this is 1, 2, yeah, actually, yeah, they have 6, right? So Spider-Man is there. So you don't want to be using your ultimate now unless you know that you're going to get 2 kills. But probably it's not going to be the case here. I think it's going to be pretty tough. So you can hold on it a little bit. And then afterwards, when you stabilize, yeah, probably when you get at least 1 more member with you, like here, this is when I would probably consider doing something, if it's possible. Well, what kind of targets you can go for? I think any stationary one, if you can try to secure the kill on that, this is really good. Probably. Just might be one of the easiest ones. Or you done the pressure with your hook. I usually recommend that. You kind of go for the pressure with the hook. You do something with that ability, and then you go for the ultimate. And then your hook is going to recharge meanwhile, right? So it can be the bigger uptime too. That's how I would look at it. Yeah. Does it make sense? Or should I
Yeah,
elaborate?
that's good.
Yeah,
that seems like a really efficient way of doing it.
Yeah, because I understand the pain as well, and there's a lot of nuances. A lot of people that might tell you this and that. Yeah, it's important, but honestly, just start with most fundamental way first. Later, you will figure out the nuances too. What kind of abilities you need to bait out, what kind of things to go for, what not. But the most important is always find a way to be proactive without being too aggressive. Well, not too aggressive, but maybe just being aggressive at the wrong time. Let's put it this way. So you want to just be looking at the general picture a little bit more. This is a big help, honestly. Like I remember when back in the days when I was climbing from the lowest rank in Overwatch, it's just something what helped out immensely, to be honest. Okay. Let me see. Let's look at the auto replay. Probably, I think this is pretty good already. So far, when to use your ultimate, this can be summarized to that. This is important. Look at the tempo. And just, I want you to look at the uptime a little bit more when you have numbers up. Try to push up, take space. You take important positions and just get the targets more. Keep the uptime with the hook. Instead of just doing the damage from the position which is secured, you can get the space first and then do damage after, right? So this is going to be more important. Just make sure you move in the map this way. Okay, let's look at auto replays. I'm just gonna put in all the names here. Peludito21, and we also got Hanzo Jackson. Okay, perfect. let's spin the wheel. Okay, who are we gonna get? If you guys can leave any more notes, that's gonna be perfect. Are we gonna get error 001? Okay, perfect. Is error 001? You got your replay here. Okay, I see that. Do you have any notes? No, Spider-Man gave me hard time. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. Why this guy gave you hard time?
I don't know. Let's see.
Do you remember that? We can see that as well. But you can tell me what do you think?
That's not what people thought.
Oh, sorry. What was that? Oh, that was okay. Oh well. Let's watch the replay. I'm gonna copy and paste your replay real quick. Give me a second. We'll open the chat. Okay, here we go. Competitive game. And you playing Hella, actually. This is a GM2 game. Pretty good. And probably just expecting you to be really good at the fundamentals overall. Yeah, if you're this rank, it's pretty good. And I think the big things, if you had a hard time versus the Spider-Man, which is like any diver in general, I usually recommend try to anticipate where they're gonna be and try to deal with them beforehand. And once they actually dive you, you can look to punish them afterwards, like we said with the previous replay and the bug here, right? You can simply just try to, once the spike of pressure is done, once they do something, they look for the dive, you can punish that. And also, yeah, poke out them before. This is even more important, to be honest, because a lot of people, they misunderstand that, well, the way to be protected from the divers is kind of clumping up together, maybe just trying to prevent the divers by sitting near your support, trying to shoot the divers after they dive you. It's not true. There's gonna be a lot about proactivity, making sure you shoot the divers before. But this requires good game sense too. So let's take a look. Okay, I'm curious to see. Well, why do we start here? We kind of.
I was late.
Oh, you was late to the fight. See, okay, that's
I
fine.
wanted to go top left. I think that's a good spot, right? To play as well.
Yeah. Generally speaking, yes, because there's power position in a way. You can just have multiple choices what to do. You can always drop. You can always go right side if something's happening. But towards the left, yeah, your angle here is going to pressure the lot. You can always choose another one. This is also good, but yeah, that's let's see. Okay, the first fight definitely wanna be careful now, because this Spider-Man is right in the back, and from this point, if you look at the both comps too, I think your comp is definitely contributing. Well, you have more poke in general, it feels. You also have Phoenix, well, and Luna with the Magneto. I think overall, if you can live the engagements of the divers, you can poke them out more. I think it will be quite good for you, because they have Hulk, they have Spider-Man, they also have some poke members too, like we see that Loki, Hala, Luna, Magneto, but I think you have slightly stronger poke. It feels like kind of similar, but yeah, you still have to watch out for the divers. You just have slightly stronger poke, in my opinion. Okay, so actually managed to get them. And I think this is where your thought process should start, actually. So see, instead of us exactly being, well, shooting anybody what's available to you once you on this off angle, it seems. Yeah, your team is here, you're on off angle at the left. This is good, but I want you to be actively watching this. This is what's important, and this is where awareness is important. You may not be the most consistent at just aiming towards the target, yeah, in the best possible way, and just shooting them. But once you're getting ready, I think it makes it easier for you to use your stun ability, and just maybe any additional shot can work out quite well too. You do react to them here, yeah, but who knows? If you know where they're coming from, you can also sneak in an additional shot before they get to you. That's okay. Let me see. Yeah. Well, this stop here, this is fine. We'll keep rotating, keep getting the distance now because you're low HP, that's fine. And this is how you can live the dive engagements with it. They dive in, okay, the spike of pressure is gone. You see that Hulk, for example, when the spike of pressure is gone, it's right after they use the bubble right there. They use the shift, they're gonna jump away. And at this time, you can start being more aggressive. You can just start peeking a little bit more. But you gotta get healed too, of course. But this is the time when we can probably do something more, but you gotta watch for this divers too. Yeah, this one is interesting. So you have two angles. You have the diver here, and you have the diver over there. You just need to choose whatever is the most important to deal with first, because they're a wink on is try to get close to you. You just need to push whatever angle is going to be the most threatening. So I think if you know the Spider-Man is there, I would like you to probably focus on that first. So you do any of the shots before he gets to you. I think he missed his grapple too, it seems. Yeah. And after the Hulk is diving you, just making sure that we shoot that follow-up as well. Yeah, this is what it seems like. So a little bit more awareness at this point. Probably stun and you will be living this. You can get rid of this guy and then try to use your shift to just get away, and we'll be all right, to be honest. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of work to be done in the poke phase. Yeah, like poke phase is just the state of the fight when you doing something before the actual engagement, before the actual normal fight, when two teams are on top of each other. That's how I call that. Okay, we get in position, good. It really seems like your positioning is on point a lot of times. With angles, you do use cover a lot, that's good. I think just slightly more awareness, if you have the hard time around this Spider-Man, would be pretty good, to be honest. Okay, we get on the off angle here, fine, makes sense. The only thing is also try to watch out. Do you know that Spider-Man is dead? Yeah, are they dead or are they alive? And this is fine. Yeah, they're currently dead, so it should be okay. You can have more free time. Try to just push up, take more space. Just trying to do something a little bit more. Oh, yeah, sorry. What was that?
No, I didn't see any guys. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you have any question, feel free to ask. I think for now, all of this makes sense.
Yep.
Okay, now at this point, you're just probably also expecting one of the things you can do, because it's easy to say just get better awareness, right? But the one active exercises I usually recommend, if you ever have the hard time dealing with divers, so just like any characters in general, just go into the game and think about the character, just where they're gonna be on the map. Think about anything what's gonna be threatening to you, and constantly just ask that question before each fight. Okay, where they are, where do I expect them to be, where they are, and then after that you gotta readjust your position and ability usage. That's it. So this can be one exercise, and another one can be just track any threatening abilities, whatever you think does a lot of damage towards you, whatever is threatening. So for example, the Spider-Man, all of those combos, once they go in, do stuff with the combos, maybe you can also track that. Once they done that, then you know the spike of pressure is done, and you can be more aggressive afterwards. You can also...
For me, it feels easier to deal with BP than Spider-Man, because Spider-Man is really unpredictable and much faster than BP.
Yeah, this is true.
So,
yeah.
And this guy was really good at Spider-Man. He was like everywhere I went, he was there, you know?
Yeah, this is true. This is true. It's really those high mobility characters. It's really similar to like the game like Overwatch. There are some characters with the high mobility, like for example Tracer. Yeah, that's pretty mobile too, and it's pretty unpredictable. But the only one of the best ways still you trying to predict, think where they're gonna be. Still, mostly. Just look at the fundamentals. Generally speaking, the Spider-Man has high mobility, so expect them to be in the flanks, and that's where they're gonna be, right? They're always here, almost always. You don't know where they're gonna come from exactly. They might come up from the left side, or they might come up from the right side, but because you actively looking at this, you can always check those spots. You can check the spot here, you can check the spot there, and then it's gonna be easier for you to just poke him out early, basically. Yeah, like even now, what if you know the Spider-Man's there, you can maybe like, just turn occasionally and check what's happening there. Yeah, I see that you're getting shielded as well. Are you doing queuing? Was this strange, or they did just help you out intentionally?
Nah, that guy was insane. He was like rank 1 in MRC or something.
Nice. Okay. Nah, that's pretty good. If they can help you out of this, definitely just to try to make sure you can control the space this way. This is really good. Okay. And now, this is where the scouting starts. To be honest, you can also start with one of the positions. I definitely think the same stuff like we talked about with the previous play, even here. The uptime, probably, if you can use your shift, I don't think it's too bad. Yeah, you just got it back, but just using it anywhere, because you can get it back, and just when the fight is about to happen is good. And additionally, you can also scout. You can scout for anybody, just where the Spider-Man is, where the Hulk is. Even though I think it's not too bad to go here, to be honest. It feels that you're gonna have high uptime, generally speaking, if they're coming out of this spawn here. I don't know what the plan is, because your location of the fight is also changes depending on the plan. Maybe your teammates, they communicate you and say that they want to do this ultimate here, or like for example they say, your Doctor Strange says, okay, I want to ult this choke, or I want to ult this choke. You definitely will change your location of the positioning later, but first off, if there's no plan, just at least scouting the best spot possible. Just use your shifts and go somewhere. I think this is gonna be alright, to be honest. Now this spot is okay. I just think there's gonna be generally not bad to even look to go somewhere with the shift right away. There's no downside. Yeah, let me see. Okay, that's fine. Any of the abilities really in that poke stage, you can actively use them because you will get those back when the actual fight happens. It's a little bit awkward, to be honest. You have multiple angles, this one here and this here. You're just exposed to too many things. Not sure what was the play. Maybe we're just kind of trying to play
Get some poke.
Yeah, like getting sub poke. Yeah, I think it's fine. Yeah, just the like uptime, like we said. I think just try to get the better position, especially if you know that they're resetting, but they just still have some people like this Hela. They're not back in the fight yet. You can use your ability for free to just take the spot. Even I don't think it's too bad if I maybe look the position over here, over there, and just a little bit too much. Pressure on you potentially. Yeah, there's a high chance that you get pressured from this A and B at the same time. It's just this position where you're at, it feels. But yeah, generally poke is good. Like what you did was pushing up before the fight starts, why not? But here we just received too much pressure because of it. Did the Hulk also did damage to you? I think they did, maybe.
I don't know, I just died instantly.
Yeah, it's just a high chance for you to die because of it, exactly, because we just a little bit out in the open there. Yeah, they maybe they tried to look for something. Okay, they didn't. It just seems that there's more pressure from this angle, but still you're kind of exposed to too many things, so it's not ideal. If you can, and you're already doing that, using cover a lot, if you can, just be exposed to one side at a time, it's usually the best. But yeah, it's okay. Alright, let's see.
Yeah, I get you. You know how ranked is, like sometimes I just go against like shit people and then I just get against like a team like this and you don't respect them, you know? You're not used to like respecting them.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I think it's fine, especially from competitive mindset. I definitely think you don't have to be afraid of them, like sort of you don't have to respect them as much, right? But once you know, and it's especially once you're gonna be in a really high rank, like around the eternity, you probably will get those matches where you just know the players who you play against, so you start playing. It's not necessarily conservative, but you still trying to go for the plays, but you also do that with the respect. You're playing the cover properly, you're doing all the stuff properly as well. So maybe something to consider a little bit more too. But yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, are we gonna have the hard time against Spider-Man later on? Okay, let's just watch one more fight.
Yeah,
maybe.
we're gonna get staggered for like 2 points. First point was the best. That's how I can say.
Yeah, okay, then it's perfect. I think we can stop around here. So to kind of just summarize, I definitely think awareness can help out you the most. Just try to track with the ER. Expect the Spider-Man to be in the backline quite a lot. Just try to set up there. They will try to be there. And you need to look for those general spots. Yes, you don't have to be exactly predicting where they are, but at least kind of have the general idea of where they are. This helps, so you can do early damage and maybe prepare some of your position later on. I think it's gonna be fine. Like that was good example really, when you know the Spider-Man is around this angle, I gotta push that early so they will not be able to get to me, just trying to do some poke damage like you said. And also expect if there are 2 divers or more, well, more than 1 diver, let's put it this way. If they have a dive tank, especially if they dive in and there's a Spider-Man, usually you expect the Spider-Man to follow up, so you don't want to shoot the diver, like the tank itself, like the Hulk was diving in, but shoot the follow-up first. You always need to look for that, just to kind of try to maybe mentally anticipate who will be following up after this tank's engagement. If the Hulk's diving in, what he's doing, yeah, why he's doing that, yeah, who he is gonna give his space to. Yeah, might be Spider-Man, might be anybody else, so you can always watch the follow-up first if possible, because sometimes it's definitely hard to just react, yeah, but because you anticipate it, it's making it easy for you to place the crosshair and just try to position afterwards. Yeah,
I got
hope that makes sense. Yeah, this is just more general ideas. Definitely, you can definitely implement that, I think. Okay, we can have more replays. Yeah, let's go over anyone else. Do we have anybody else? Okay, Hansa Jackson, Puladito. Yeah, I think I didn't forget anybody. Okay, let's just spin the wheel. We'll probably get 2 more, at least 2 more. And we got Peludito21. Perfect. I think Gun been attending every VOD session so far, every class too. So not sure. Are we gonna get the Gun later on too? Okay. We just need to paste this. Okay. Do you have any notes? Oh, I think I missed one character. Give me a second. Do you have any notes about this game? You can unmute as well if you don't mind.
I mean, I was playing a DPS, but I think one of my somebody on my team said to switch to tank, so I switched like to Mag and then to Strange.
Right. So you want some feedback for the tank? How to play Strange?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Yeah. Is there anything what you find difficult on the Strange at the moment, or like in this match in particular?
This match, I was trying to kind of to improve on Psylocke, but we were kind of losing the match, so I switched to a tank.
Oh, okay, makes sense. So you actually started playing Psylocke. So do you want me to look at the Psylocke or the Strange?
If you could look at the Psylocke, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, that is perfect. Okay, and if there's anything you think you want me to focus on, yeah, whatever the notes you wanna leave as well, that's completely fine. Yeah. Well, let's start. Oh, just the basic question: what do you feel like a struggle on Psylocke at the moment?
I struggle on Psylocke, probably diving the backline and trying to get picks off of.
Yeah, just how to dive backline. Okay, perfect. And the rank of this is around diamond, if I'm not mistaken, or plat.
Yeah, this is diamond.
Okay, perfect. So
they're like former GM players, I think.
Nice. Okay, this is good. I think the most fundamental things really on the Psylocke is just mostly you're gonna be setting up around 90 to 180 angles. What is that exactly? Is you're just searching for the angles where let's say most of my team is around this A position, and you're this position B, you're kind of forming this perpendicular angle with this A position, with where the rest of your core is, and typically you're trying to position there, so it's going to be easier for you to divert the enemy attention, but also look for the backline engagements too. You want to make sure you either on this angles B, this is going to be 90 angle example, or you can be at this angle C. In theory, yeah, you can also do 180 angles comfortably because you have a decent mobility. I don't think you have too much mobility like Spider-Man or like Black Panther. That's why it's going to be between 90 to 180 angles for you typically, which is probably you would lean towards 90, I think, most of the time, because of how the character works. You don't have like too much mobility, but it's fine. Okay, so you want to start with that first off, and the second thing is just trying to time the pressure with my tank somehow. So I think you might find it challenging if you're trying to set up for the dives. I don't think it's the most valuable spot for us to play at, even though it feels that you have the uptime, you're kind of doing damage. But what if I'm on an off angle and you're gonna divert the enemy attention? I don't think it's too bad for you to be around here or be around there in your case. Yeah, it's gonna be exactly your 90 angle. Once your team is fighting here, you start the pressure from there, and this way it's gonna be easier for you to secure something. And you see how you play in this position where you're not able to take advantage of your shift anyway. Yeah, you can use it as a disengage tool, you can use it as a reposition tool, you can use it as a finisher. Yeah, just finish the enemy as well. So I don't think you need to position here. So your general rule is 90 angles, yeah, 90 to 180, and play one shift away from the fight. If you notice you're not one shift away, like you're too far, like at that position where your Luna Snow is, I don't think it's the best position for you typically. You don't want to be there. So, for example, here I'm one shift away, yeah, one dash away. Okay, I will just say that. It's gonna be fine. Or if my team is playing this choke here, I can also be up there. I'm also one dash away too. This is gonna be completely fine for you as well. Okay, let's keep watching. And so definitely a lot of the plays on the main, I feel. So kind of just playing more of a stationary, like a stationary character. You know, taking advantage of your mobility that much. So you just need to set up first. Set up first 90 to 180 angle, really, and that's gonna be fine. You see how it's just so much more difficult as well for you to get any value. Yeah, even though you farm some of the ult charge, I definitely think you could be securing more kills. I like that you're kiting afterwards. Yeah, when your team got pressured a lot, you taking your time to do something, but yeah, it's gonna be it might be more difficult to survive if they chase you there. Okay, you have an Viz, maybe we can survive. Yeah, taking the HP back. Well, maybe, yeah. Okay, let's see if we get healed. Yeah, it's unfortunate. That's okay. Yeah, but regardless, I think that first fight you can definitely do much more by just looking to be at the one of this angles, 90 to 180 angle or something.
So I need to take better off angles.
Yes, exactly. We've been playing too much of a front line there. You swap to the Magneto afterwards. Let's see, are you playing at any point of time, you playing Salak as well? Maybe attack? Okay. Yeah, it seems there is still the tank. Okay, well, if you just want a more additional feedback, because there was pretty short example, right? The first fight. I'm just gonna give you some of the examples of what I just mentioned. Okay, let me see. Maybe there was a session back in the days, the masterclass, where I used some of the replays from Sparker, and I can maybe show you some of what he does as well, and this is gonna be exactly the good stuff to copy. Well, you not exactly need to copy everything like what they do, but you just gotta implement the principle. Just copy the principle at all times. Okay, let me see. Yeah, so staying on the angles. I'm not sure which one would do the best, to be honest, because I have, yeah, I think that one replay with the angles, it got deleted. Okay, well, what about this video? Might be okay. Let me see. Okay, so it's gonna be mostly just 90 to 180 angles we need to look for. Let me take a look. So what do we got? This map is more linear. Okay, I just want to find any of the examples where they're gonna be trying to pressure around the 90 angles. Okay, probably, well, okay, I think we can start with right away. Okay, so you can always see, it doesn't matter what map, even this more linear map where there are less flank options, you will typically see them try to look for the flank routes in general. So their team is going to be looking to go from here, and then at the same time, what they could be doing, maybe set up on the right side, or maybe try to go to the left side, stuff like that. We always trying to divert the enemy attention this way. If that's not possible for you, for whatever reason, maybe the fight is about to start, well, you can choose to play more of the main angle, but most of the time you're still gonna be on 90 angle. Yeah, you see how they are more 90 right now, even. Yeah, when my team is walking here, I'm just creating this 90 angle just in case if the enemy is walking forward, it's easy for you to shoot as well. You can just try to apply pressure from here. It might seem that they're in the main sort of, but no, this is still going to be 90 angle. Yeah, it's exactly what you could have done at that first fight. Yeah, maybe try to even set up more for the flank option. When you're on attack though, you don't have as much time to set up, but it's fine. You can still look for the 90 angles. Even during the active fight, you still can lean towards those. Or for example here, you're trying to, well, they just trying to get a little bit more space on the map. Yeah, now they are on the main because they're trying to get the staggers, but then later on, if it's possible, trying to set up the best position possible later on, just get on the angles. I expect them to either be, yeah, so this is what they do right now, be on this right side, or you can also go all the way left side, usually, because this way you form this more 90 angle eventually. And this is where you always see them, even in here, in those moments when they fight in main with the rest of their team, they will try to create at least some sort of off angle. Yeah, or like right now, this high gun as well. Yeah, where their team is. Their team is under, they here, they're also kind of forming this 90 angle a bit more. Yeah, it's just some of the examples. I think those can be useful. Do you have any questions about all of them?
No, I don't really have any questions.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I have one.
Oh, yeah.
I have a question. I think I saw a video once. Are combos reliable in top ranks?
Well, combos is just, you know, the thing about those, just generally speaking, is that the combos is a nice general way for you to sneak in the burst damage, but it doesn't mean that you have to do those all the time, right? The combos are there to just help you out to understand how to do burst, but you always have to choose the right moment to do those. So yes, of course, all of this is relevant. Yeah, the mechanical stuff is relevant. It just a lot of stuff to keep in mind, like what kind of abilities the enemy is going to use to counter your stuff here, your big burst. Maybe are you anticipating the threats, what they're going to do afterwards? Are you exactly timing the pressure correctly? Maybe you do the combo, but there's no follow-up, right? There's no follow-up from your team. There's just no tank follow-up. There's nobody else who can shoot the target with you. Then this is not good, right? So I would just usually recommend combos are fine, but this is just additional layer. You want to usually start with the stuff like your timing. This is going to be your first layer. Okay, let's just maybe look at, I'm just going to move away from this. Okay, usually start with the timing. Let's say this is going to be your first layer, and then there's going to be another layer such as positioning, and then decisions. And you're kind of starting to build this tower or pyramid. You're going to be placing other concepts above all of this, and you will see, okay, like maybe I can focus on the mechanics afterwards a little bit more. This is going to be your next layer, and there's going to be some other more niche concepts too. That's how I would view that. So always look at the fundamentals first. Are you timing correctly? Am I at the best position? Am I also recognizing the tempo of the fight correctly? Am I prioritizing good targets? Yeah, my decisions, for example, stuff like that. So this is how I would explain that, if that makes sense. Okay, any more questions?
No. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Well, we have time to look at least one more replay, and we should be good. Yeah, you can definitely just attend later. Maybe if you're curious more about the site, like you want me to review that more, feel free to attend. Just in a couple of weeks, I will probably be able to do one more replay. If you want me to focus on anything specific, let me know. Okay, let's spin the wheel. What do we got? Okay, deck of luck, actually. I think we did review some of the replay before. Let me see. Now it's Namor. I don't remember what was the character back in the days, actually. Maybe it was Namor, but I can take a look. Okay, custom game.
What one? I think it was like one of the script matches. I don't play much comp, to be honest.
Yeah, that is fine. That is fine. What do you think you struggle with on the Namor?
So Namor, it's because he's my first like actual like DPS that requires more than room temperature IQ to play. So it's more just like when to flank and when not, and when to like take off angles and just be a main DPS. I know Namor has two play styles. He can either take off angles and main DPS, yes, or he flanks behind the team. I don't know when to do what.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. Well, to be honest, you always want to look into fundamentals. I think at any point of time, the angles, like whatever angle is most convenient for you, you want to lean towards that. Like in the case of Namor, yes, it's possible to flank. Yeah, you're gonna be between those 90 to 180 angles in general. But why is that possible? It's not that because you have a lot of mobility, in my opinion, like on a side, like for example, like Black Panther, but because you have a lot of burst damage, you just can do insane amount of burst. But the thing about that is you cannot look for the flanks or just like too deep angles. Okay, this is how I view that. Yeah, it just the flank for me, it would be something like 180 angle in general. So if I'm looking at the map, well, I'll just look, for example, here, Central Park. You can have the angles on a certain degree. You can just try to go main. This is fine. Just zero angle. Yeah, you kind of angle 0. I'm just going main. You can always go like this right side, for example. Yeah, at this point of time, I would be taking.
Oh no, yeah, he can bubble. He can bubble, right?
Yeah. Well, it's just kind of.
Oh wait, you're just talking about in general. Okay.
Yeah, it's just in theory. Yeah, okay. And you can also try to come from behind. So this would be like 180 angle, and people a lot of times would call that flank. Yeah, flank is usually the position where it's harder for you to get any help too. Usually from 90 angle is going to be easier, from 180 is going to be harder. And the thing about that is you usually want to take the most convenient angle, the fast as possible. And I think if the map allows you to flank in is fine, but make sure you have long sideline. That's it. To be honest, it's just gonna be similar. I don't know if you played much Overwatch Widowmaker, but it's gonna be kind of similar to one of these things like from there, because the character got a lot of burst. You can definitely look for flank options more. You can just try to set up there. Well, you have some sustain too, to be honest, so it's alright. As long as you have long sideline, I think you should be okay. You just need to make sure you take advantage of that at all times. Like here, I think the only most valuable options is take those slide off angles, because you're not able to flank right away. I'm not sure. Well, let's say you go right side. Even I'm not sure. I don't know, to be honest, if that's possible. If you use your ability, yeah, if you try to go up there, maybe. Yeah, it's just regardless of that, it feels that it's really short sideline. So I think it's gonna be complicated to get Value unless you can sneak in and try to set up somewhere like over here later on. But that's why I think it's just okay where you are. This more off angle, just leaning towards 90. Sort of have long sideline. It's good. Yeah, just keep pressure. Well, let me see your notes, actually, what you mentioned there as well. I'm curious. You kind of, yeah, you also mentioned, I'm kind of new to Namor first half. I did very good, and second half, I end up having to switch because you feel Namor wasn't working. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, let's take a look. Yeah,
I feel like the first half, we kind of stopped, but then the second half, they adjusted their team comp and the more started struggling.
This sideline feels comfortable, I think. You have, generally speaking, the good long sideline. There's no other better angle to take. It's just dependent on where the enemy is going. If they go on left side, then you can open up to the right side. If they go right side, the opposite, then you go left side. Instead, you always want to try to open up the sharpest sideline with the any long-range characters like that. This way, it becomes much easier for you to control space. So in this case, it's fine. They went left, you go right. Okay, I think it works. Well, I'm thinking. Well, about this here. What are you usually looking for when using your turrets?
I usually try to get some good burst damages, but something I have been working on, what Ambi pointed out, is while I can target the tanks to like charge up myself, I should be looking to like target their backline more. So try angle yourself towards squishies more than tanks. So that's something I do need to work on.
Yes. What do you think about your squid's placement like this?
I feel like they're really bad. I feel like I could have threw them on a pillar or something. I feel like they don't have the best angle. Right now.
Yeah, exactly. So this is what you'll see the good players do. So why it's not working? So first off, because whenever you see there's big damage coming in, let's say you have big amount of burst right now, and you also place the squid right now. The enemy in Syria, they're scared of your damage already. So what they will do, they will try to hide from your damage. So if they'll try to hide from your damage somewhere, let's say you position here, they will try to hide behind the cover right side, or they will try to hide inside the building, something, I don't know, like any other cover, like any other pillars they can find, any other cover. Because of that, you don't want the same pressure from the angle where you are already. You just want to position your squid somewhere else. So if you force somebody behind the cover, those squids can get to those a little bit more. That's what we call, again, more Overwatch terms. We call this idea, you can set up sort of car wash with the squids. So what is that is, you place those on the pillars, but you just spread them out enough so you're able to control certain area. So it works like this. So for example, I have the squid here, I have the squid there, and I have pressure from here. So this allows me to control this space easily, and I'm kind of able to just do damage from multiple places. Yeah, like car wash is just, I'm washing the car from multiple places, not just one. This is not effective, right? So that's why we call it this way. And you're spinning out the squids, and after that, the enemy is also going to be diverting the attention. It's going to be easier for them to destroy all of those, if possible. Of course, you need to look into the range as well, if you can actually place the squids properly. But yeah, pillar is usually good. Verticality is usually fine. If you can place it somewhere there, this is just perfect. This is just good enough. And Yeah, so I wouldn't prefer you placing all the squids in one spot. It might be good. I will tell you when. It's usually good when there's a big commitment, and you know already you're gonna do a lot of damage from this angle. But most of the time, I think you need to set up squids for map control. Yeah, it's just kind of I'm controlling the space around and placing it somewhere around the map. Let me see. Actually, might have a good example of the squids placement from what I explained. I probably recorded somebody before. Let me see. Maybe this here. Okay, I'm just gonna check real quick. Maybe this can be a good example. Yeah, there was one good Neymar player I recorded back in the days. I think we did a quick masterclass on that too, so might be good to see. Let me see, might be good. This game was a while ago, so I'm not sure if this plays the bass still, but let's take a look. So this has been one of the old recordings. Okay, so yeah, exactly.
What, is this
You see,
comp or this quick play?
this is calm. Yeah, this is calm. This player
Oh,
here.
Yeah, that's season 1 then.
Sorry, what was that?
Oh, I was gonna say that's probably season 1 or season. When did that map roll out? It's either season 1 or season 0.
Yeah, well,
I think it's season 1.
yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, so the idea is when you're trying to set up, it's just the universal ideas. Usually, I'm trying to set up my squid at a different angle, and I'm also trying to distract the enemy this way. Yeah, I'm setting up this like we said, sort of car wash, so they exactly place it somewhere above. Yeah, so for example, here I'm controlling this area. I set up my damage from the main. Well, maybe let's say here, or maybe they could be on the left side, and your squid meanwhile just taking slight off angle in a way, yeah, so it's not going to be typically positioned around them unless they can do a lot of meaningful damage if they know the enemy is not able to hide instantly, right? But this usually happens when you have this more of a not neutral, but when you have a big advantage, or when the enemy, let's say they done a lot of commitment or something, I think this can be okay as well. But a lot of times you just placing the squids for map control in the early stages of the fight, or like the middle of the fight too, like you see here. It's just a good example. Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So this can be something to practice right away, to be honest, because. You don't want to be placing the turrets like that ever, usually. Well, not ever, like I said, but yeah, this is gonna be exactly better if you just go...
No, Ambi did say when place them at your feet, the only one of the few scenarios you should be doing that is if you're under heavy pressure, you can use them as like a little shield to try to get away.
Oh yeah, this is fine. Yeah, this is fine too. Yeah, this is completely fine, because when they dive in, you definitely need extra advantage, or like, let's say, yeah, just in general, there's a lot of pressure on you. I think it's fine. What I would say though, definitely, I would prefer you not to get pressure in the first place, because you would have good squid placement already. So those guys would not get to you in the first place, because you got the map control solved first. Map control first. Second, yes, use it as defensive, or you can also just do any other purposes like big damage output. But usually, yeah. It's not the best. Like I will not use Overwatch terms too much, but yeah, it's usually the same ideas like any other hero shooters. You have the turrets like in Overwatch they got Torbjorn turret, or like they also got Sim turrets. It's been always the same concept. It's not like just something random. It's just you always have the best value by controlling the angles first. Just try to set it up. For example, here, rolling out, you have the big damage output. Yeah, place your squid somewhere for the map control. Set up like this, more of a extra angle of attack, and then afterwards you decide what to do. Yeah, this is exactly better. And afterwards, with your position, we usually like you to have the sharpest outline possible, so I think this is completely fine. And what a lot of people don't say as well, I think if you can, if this is possible, try to take advantage of your shift if the enemies cannot punish you for the setup, because a lot of people, they just hold the ability, they hold the shift forever, just once they get in dive or something, yeah, like you just hold this ability for that time. But a lot of times we can use it as a setup before the fight too, if they cannot just get on top of you right away. Here, I think holding that is sort of okay-ish, to be honest. Okay. Long sideline, yeah, as long as you have that, really, it should be okay. Wait, by the way, for example...
Yeah, that was a great angle.
Yeah, well, it's yeah, it's sort of predicting where the fight is gonna be as well, right? It's like we said in our first review, you watch the tempo of the fight, you're playing really fast tempo, you pushing the enemy in, and they are gonna be playing defensive, so you can usually try to take more space. And one of the things is, oh, sorry, what was that? Oh,
Oh,
okay.
my fault, bro. I didn't know my mic was on mute. My
So
bad.
it's all good. It's all good. So one of the things is placing the squids where the fight is gonna be because they're gonna fall back. You expect them to do so because you have more tempo. And I also would say, honestly, I think you can even try to use your shift to just go somewhere, take space. Because if
Yeah,
you're
I
gonna
was-
get pushed, let's say you're getting pushed by Stalwart or you're getting pushed by Psylocke in Syria, I think it's fine because you have big advantage. So you can bait those guys and just drop from the position. Let's say I go on the edge here or like here. I think it's not bad too, as long as you have the good angle. I don't know, you have to experiment with that, but definitely in those points of downtime when I have a big advantage or just the times before the fight, I definitely think it's good to set up. This idea is always like worth it for any of the characters. Like we talked about the Hala, for example. If you can, just try to set up the better angle with your shift. You even like for example here, yeah, you exactly walk upwards, but you could also be using shift to go up, and you will not get punished. Yeah, you don't have ability for now, but you will get it back later when the actual fight happens, if they will stabilize, right? But because you took the shift first, you use that first, you keep the uptime, so you probably can get just rid of all these guys, and you will be, yeah, it'll be fine. This is just the uptime, yeah. And as I said, bait out them to W as well. Yeah, do you have any questions about anything? I don't know. I mentioned quite a lot. It's just a lot of the squid placement, the positional stuff. But yeah.
So yeah, I'll keep that in mind. Try to use my squids to more of a taking like an area rather than playing it super aggressively or defensively. I'll be honest, there's probably part to blame because I've been playing Penny a lot lately, so I've been known. So that's why I've been playing super defensively, and I sometimes forget. Wait, I'm the more. I'm not Penny. I need to be more offensive.
Yeah, well, to be honest, this is okay. You just need to recognize. I always say that you need to be aggressive always, but do it at the right time. Yeah, just be aggressive, but do it at the right time. Yeah, it's okay. You still can be aggressive with Penny, right? But at what times? You have Penny is more of a short range character. There's a lot of just how you place the mines. You control this a lot of times in close spaces. You can bait out the enemies there to just use the rooms. You watch somebody, I don't know, like good Penny players. There's some streamers like Cringe Alarm. They always play Penny or someone else. They always. I remember there was one more name. I forgot, but yeah, they usually pretty good on Penny as well. And you always see them using the enclosed spaces a lot, and you being aggressive because you have the best position possible at the good range, and you can also time the pressure. That's it. So your positions, it's more along sideline. You take advantage of those, yes, and you can take 90 to 180 angle depending on if the map allows you to. Really, like here, this section is definitely more forgiving for you to take more 180 angle in Syria. I think if you can get there instead of well, the first point, it's definitely harder because you will have a lot of short sidelines if you will try to take that right away. Obviously depends on where the enemy is too, but yeah, long sideline, and you can definitely look for that. Use your shift more as well to set up when you have an advantage, and when you recognize that just the time before the fight, any time before the fight, because a lot of people underestimate that, to be honest. It's just the uptime constantly. All right. Yeah, just in case you have any more questions, let me know. I'm pretty glad to share all these ideas. I've been around with hero shooters like for what, like 10 years already? Yeah, Overwatch. How old is Overwatch? Like 9 years? I don't know. Oh yeah.
Well, it started back in 2016, so
Yeah, so it's 9 years already, yeah.
roughly.
It's pretty old game now. But yeah, I will be glad to share any of those concepts, honestly. Or there are a lot of similarities. This game, or like any other, I think there's like game, I don't know, maybe like Paladins or Team Fortress as well. There are a lot of similarities. If you have any questions about those, feel free to message me as well. Like any of the concepts, those are quite similar, to be honest. Of course, there are some nuances, right? Every game is different, but yeah, it's okay. Well, I think that's it for today, really. Do you guys have any final questions? Maybe anything you want me to answer, to ask, sorry.
So I guess that's pretty much if for the VOD reviews, I'm guessing.
It's, sorry, can you repeat that?
I said I'm guessing that's it for the VOD reviews for.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's just 1 hour. I will definitely do more. Well, you've been
Oh.
lucky before. You've been lucky before. You got caught a lot of years. I think maybe 2-3 times in a row. So yeah.
Eh,
No,
it's
it was
more-
pretty
yeah, it's-
short though. I
yeah,
know.
it's more of the fact that it's just because I know my last game, because I actually had someone from another Discord kind of watching how I play, and the code I sent you, I think it was more of a team diff, and apparently their Panther, right, was more likely a Smurf, and I'm just like, what the fuck am I supposed to do against when it comes to people that people that are like that are apparently better on like an alt. How the especially with when it comes to Punisher, because it seems like I can't do shit.
Yeah, well, like I said, it might be multiple things. Maybe something to start with. I definitely would start with just general awareness. Do you expect the certain characters to be here or there? Yeah, what kind of positions they could be getting? Like we talked about, there was a Hela what have you, right? Just the previous one. Yeah, it was a lot about expecting where the enemies might be. Maybe you just need to, once you expect the enemy, you can position accordingly.
Yeah,
And
that's
Mhm.
yeah. Unfortunately for me, when it comes to Panther, it's I mean, because I legit try to track him, but unfortunately he moves too fucking fast.
Yeah. This is another part, right? You just need to also know how to. Well, it's predicting where they're gonna be, but also what the ability is gonna do. So your crosshair placement will change afterwards, so you can easily track them and try to just punish them. Right? It's much more though about you poking out them before, in my opinion. And usually choose long sidelines too. You don't want to be stuck in near any flank crowds. You want to have distance from flanks. So if you expect them there, make sure you have distance and get ready. Just be ready to shoot them too. It's definitely it's gonna be that mostly. But it's fine, we can look at that later. If you have any replays saved for later, I will be glad to take a look at that. Maybe just how do you deal with the punter, all of that. But yeah, that's okay.
Yeah,
Alright,
because it's mainly like Panther
Mhm.
and Spidey, but yeah, and
Yeah, it's okay.
and other of the semi dive heroes, but yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. I think just start with awareness, start with seeing how you can do something proactive before the dive, and then afterwards you can readjust your ability usage once they done the dive. It's gonna be fine.
Mhm.
All right, well, I'm gonna end here. I got another session really soon, and oh yeah, guys, by the way, if you want your own session, feel free to DM me as well. I'll be glad to help you out. And yeah, I think that's it for today, everyone. I will see you guys
All right,
later.
then. Yeah, see you around
See you,
Yeah,
dude.
bye bye, guys.
later.
Bye.